Considered by many to be one of the all-time great NES games, Super Mario Bros. 3 is a game that I did not personally experience until probably about a decade ago. Probably around the time I got my hands on a Super Mario All-Stars for Nintendo Wii. Yeah, that re-release that a bunch of people whined and cried about being too overpriced and too expensive and being a limited release turned out to be how I, a younger player, managed to experience this classic for the first time. And I was immediately impressed by what I was given with this release. I loved the visuals, I loved the gameplay, I loved the map design, like the power-ups, everything about it. And once I got my hands on Super Mario Advance 4, Super Mario Bros. 3, which expanded on it, I loved the game even more. The game, being a follow-up to Super Mario Bros. 3, Super Mario Bros. 2, Super Mario Bros. 3 had a lot it needed to do in order to win back, to really expand on what the first two games did. And to its credit, I think it did a really great job. First of all, the creators decided to make the decision to make the game more like the original, in which you have a similar mode of gameplay in which you're running and jumping on enemies to get through these stages. You have new power-ups, stuff like that. But the levels themselves are a lot more creative and visually interesting than they were in Super Mario Bros. 1. A lot more like they were in Super Mario Bros. 2, actually. They feel a lot more like real fantasy settings. You have places in the clouds, you have castles, you have these open fields, you have deserts, you have these lakes, and being able to jump in and out of the water is a new feature in this one. There are just so many expansions and crazy new things you can do in this game that just lead to it to being probably the single best 2D platformer ever made. I think the argument is whether Super Mario Bros. 3 or World could be considered better, and really I think it's really up to a matter of preference. Do you like the secrets that World has with the alternate exits, or do you like 3's raw platforming difficulty? Personally, I think I lean towards 3 as being the technically better game, even though I kind of prefer World. I just prefer the style more. I just prefer the general nature of World's design better. It's just a preference for me. Even though I think 3 is a better game overall, 3 just oozes crazy, is just Nintendo at its absolute peak, just insanely creative from start to finish, from the power-ups and being able to fly into the sky, discover secrets, from going into the background of areas to discover new locations, to discovering warp whistles, to skip stages, from just going out of your way, playing levels you don't really need to play in order to progress, just to see what's there, just to experience everything the game has to offer. This game offers this sense of freedom that I think a lot of other platformers kind of lack, right? In which you're basically able to go wherever you want, as long as there's no level you have to play through to get there. So in order to progress through the map screen, you have to play a level, and sometimes you can actually go around levels and do things out of order, and just go straight to a castle if you want, but you might miss out on a Toad house. There are benefits to sort of playing some of these extra levels, the first warp whistles hidden in World 1-3, right? Some people would just skip it and go straight to the castle instead. They would never be able to find it without a guide, right? There are all sorts of neat little moments like that, moments that go beyond simply finding the warp zone in World 1-2. The game is just packed full of interesting, unique secrets that will just keep you wanting to play, wanting to keep going until the very, very end, where you defeat the evil Bowser and save Princess Peach. Beating this game feels like a legit accomplishment. I think I think I said this about Castlevania Aria Sorrow a while back, but it really does feel like the Super Mario Bros. Series could have ended here and just been a wonderful all-time climax to a great trilogy of games. But that didn't happen, obviously. We continued to Super Mario World and then Super Mario 64. We skipped we skipped like 60 entries there, but we went from Super Mario World, Super Mario Bros. 4 to Super Mario 64. But where did the other Super Mario Bros. Go? Where did 5 through 59, 63 go? Huh? But anyway, the games are the game is. The game feels a lot more NES difficult than Super Mario World does. Super Mario World is more like a Super Nintendo difficult, in which like it's perfectly doable if you like know what you're doing. Whereas Super Mario World, Super Mario Bros. 3 NES difficult requires a lot of time, precision, skill, and patience to learn and master. It's not an easy game. It really isn't. I've struggled with it throughout the years. I actually prefer the Game Boy Advance version because I think like it's a bit more forgiving with checkpoints and stuff like that. Like on the maps, it works differently than it does in the original. I just adore. I adore how the game just really pushes you to like to beat it, to master it. And I can only imagine like what it felt like to get through this thing back in the day, like just having cleared Super Mario Bros. 1 and 2 and just playing this for the first time back when it was still brand new. An excellent way to cap off the NES library, a great way to ease people into like picking up a Super Nintendo, and just a great way to send off like the Nintendo Entertainment System, which was a fantastic piece of hardware and will always remain a beloved part of Nintendo history.